All right, we're gonna check out this show called Eric on Netflix, you know what I'm saying? 6 episodes, 52 minutes apiece, let's get it. So first episode starts off with this dude by the name of Vincent, right? He's got this puppet show that's on television called Good Morning Sunshine. It kind of like reminds you of some Sesame Street shit, right? Edgar, his son, happens to be there watching the show. He's like 9 years old. Now the thing is, this show has been in syndication for like 10 years or whatever like that, but now all of a sudden the director wants to go in a different path. They want to take different ideas and make it edgier, you know, for like the cool kids, but here's the thing. It's a kid's show for like elementary schoolers and shit like that. So Eric is not really opposed to the idea. I mean, Vincent's not really opposed to the idea, but here's the problem. Their ratings have slipped in the last year, and he's thinking to himself, only like 3%, big deal. But yeah, it kind of is. So Edgar's got some ideas about a new character or something like that. But Vincent's not really listening. Instead, he gets this homeless man some money or whatever like that. That is, we thought he wasn't listening until he got to the dinner table. The problem is, Vincent and his girlfriend Cassie are always beefing. Edgar's the son that they both had. But Vincent and Cassie's relationship is very toxic. They try to keep it sane for Edgar's sake, but not really. Next day, Cassie's got to do something. I'm not even sure what she does. I'm not even sure if she even works. Bottom line is they're trying to figure out who's going to take Edgar to school or whatever, but they go back and forth with the words. But Vince is like, Edgar's school is only like 2 blocks down, you know what I'm saying? So while they argue, Edgar ends up walking to school, but we see some guy in a car, he's just like looking at him, and we're just like, what the fuck is going on? Next thing we see Vincent at the studio, he's got to work on all this material or whatever like that, and a couple of executives are going to be there for the showing. Cassie calls the station, but Vincent ain't got time for that right now. He says some shit on the show and starts talking about City Hall. We knew they was going to be like, cut. We knew Vincent off the back was not going along with this shit. Put out information for the cool kids, like, really? So he goes through executives, he's talking a bunch of BS to him. He finally gets home and he finds his cops everywhere. Then we find out Edgar never made it to school. That's what Cassie was calling about. He's been missing like all day. Then they send this detective on the case by the name of Detroit. It's spelled Ledroit. You wanted to say Detroit, but bottom line is his name is Michael, so fuck that. Detroit is his last name. So anyway, Mikey works with this chick by the name of Tina. You can tell they're kind of close, work-wise, I guess. So basically, Mikey's assigned to this case. So Mikey's gathering information from all the tenants and everything like that. And when we see Vincent and Cassie alone, Vincent ends up getting his drink. Cassie's stressing the fuck out. Oh, keep in mind, I think this is actually based on a true story and it takes place in the early 80s in New York City. So after doing some due diligence, Mikey ends up going to this place called The Lux. And in this club, he ends up talking to this dude by the name of Gator. I'll explain him in a minute. So while he's in this club, he goes past this VIP room and ends up going to the bathroom. These two guys are harassing this one dude trying to get some money out of him. Then he says something about 8 wouldn't like that. And I'm like, who the heck is 8? The number 8. Trust me, you're not going to find out that question in the first episode. You have to watch a whole bunch of them. So anyway, these two guys got a stash out this kid or whatever like that. Mikey comes around and talks about arresting him. But it turns out these guys are actually cops too. Then he's got to talk to a supervisor. Now, here's the thing. Mikey was pressing up on this dude Gator because it turns out Gator was doing drug trafficking or something like that. He already served his 6 years. But the thing also, this club is actually 2 blocks away from the last place that anybody's seen Edgar at. I'm thinking to myself, how did he find out this information? Because he actually pulled in the guy that was staring at Edgar the day before. So clearly he ain't do this shit. Turns out Mikey was actually working in another district and he actually got bumped down from the top brass to missing persons cases. Because he kept coming at the Gator. But here's the thing. The only thing they caught him on was like drug trafficking or whatever like that. But he believes that Gator is doing a lot more shit. Now, his boss is telling him, like, look, you're working on a missing person case. Don't worry about Gator. But on your off time, you know, get yourself a hobby. Do something. You know, get a girlfriend or something. Hey, Tina likes you. He tries to set it up so him and Tina could get a date, right? But here's the thing. When he goes back home from work, he's taking care of this old man in the bed. Then he starts kissing him and we find out, oh, Mikey's gay. Now, at this point, Edgar's been missing for like 24 hours. So the next day, they bring in Vincent and Cassie, right? Because apparently they found a bloody Good Morning Sunshine shirt. We're like, oh, shit. So Vincent tries to calm everything down, and he's like, yo, like, it's kind of a popular show. You got a lot of kids with these shirts. But Cassie knows that's his shirt because the E and the Y are stained. So they're not trying to think the worst, but obviously that's entering Cassie's mind. So when they get outside the station, Cassie tells Vincent that she needs some space. I'm like, what? This is like the worst time to get space. So the situation is their relationship's kind of toxic and he ain't been smashing for like weeks. You might be able to tell where this is going. Vincent then goes back to the house and he's looking at like Edgar's drawings or whatever like that, right? He starts getting an idea on other things to draw. Now, my thought process thinking to myself, he's going to find something in these drawings that might give him clues to Edgar's whereabouts. Maybe. Cassie calls the house to let Vincent know she's been checking on the west side but can't find nothing, right? But really, she ends up meeting this dude named Sebastian and starts kissing on him. Now, I'm thinking to myself, she's probably been smashing this nigga for a while. Shit crazy. Then we get Michael in the house and we find out that he's had this recorder on or whatever like that. So he recorded everything that happened when he went into the club that night. So then we get a shot of Kennedy right now. He's one of the cops that was harassing that dude in the bathroom, whatever. It turns out he's at this like cop bar or whatever, getting his drinks or whatever, and he ends up walking out. Now, as he's walking out, he ends up getting hit by this red Cadillac, and the Cadillac just kept on going. I'm like, what the heck did Kennedy do? Maybe because somebody heard him mention the name 8 or something. So apparently I'm thinking to myself, this dude 8 must be a problem. Bottom line, Kennedy done deal did his shit. Next morning, Vincent wakes up out of a drunken stupor or whatever like that. But the thing that woke him up was Eric's drawing. Edgar's drawing Eric. Now, obviously, this is not real, but apparently this is what Vincent's seeing right now. Last thing we see in the episode on the ground somewhere is Edgar's red jacket. Man, this shit is wild. So like I said, 6 episodes, 50 minutes apiece. Check that shit out. Eric on Netflix. Check that shit out.